Hello everybody. By this time next week, we will be welcoming new governments in Assam, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and West Bengal. Now there may be some historic changes and some not so historic, but the spotlight will definitely shift on those politicians who emerged winners in these assembly elections. But before that happens, I'd like you to meet someone who, with his redoubtable team, ensures that the wheels of Indian democracy keep turning almost as a matter of routine. Please welcome India's Chief Election Commissioner, Dr. S.Y. Quraishi. Dr. Quraishi, welcome to the show. Last month or so, you and the Election Commission and all the different officers, the CEOs in the five different states, you all have taken center stage. In a week from now, your job will be done. What's the mood as we speak?
Oh, we are looking forward to being off stage because it's a very prolonged period and it keeps us on our toes. But at the same time, we have to do a job and we have to do it well. What
would you say are the highlights of these 5 assembly elections that have just been conducted? West Bengal, 2 more phases to go.
Yes.
Would it be the incredibly high voter turnout?
The voter turnout has been the highest ever in election history. And I would say that there are 3 reasons for this. One is that we created total security environment, which was the confidence building for the voters, because they don't like to be caught in street fight and tension and violence outside the polling station. Then we did lots of new things for voter facilitation. For instance, for the first time, Bihar onward, we have been doing it, we gave a voter slip ourselves.
Right.
Otherwise, political party used to give.
That's true.
We said we will reach a voter slip to everybody and it will be a photo, voter slip with a photo.
Right.
It gives you a confidence. Look, your name is there, your name is correct, this is where you have to go. Everything is clear, so that helps. And most important, last year we had set up a voter education division where we had thought that voter turnout wherever it is low is a matter of concern. That is when people were making suggestions like there should be compulsory voting, because nobody was happy with low turnout, and that we should give up a first past the post system. But our answer was, and I used to say from day one, that our answer will be voter education. We set up a voter education division. We did very detailed scientific studies through independent organizations and on the knowledge, attitude, practices and behavior of the voters. Why were they indifferent, or were they cynical?
But is there anything that you felt that you personally, in all your travels in these 5 states and all your meetings with all your team and functionaries there, is there something about the public mood that you can gauge that's coming out?
You know, public mood, I must say that citizens' participation has increased enormously, particularly in Tamil Nadu. But even in other places, the kind of feedback we were getting from civil society organizations, lots of groups, who are concerned about democracy, they were very, very active. Whatever were the malpractices of the politicians they were exposing, if they had some suggestions for us, we were responding very quickly. I was getting on my mobile phone about 200 to 300 emails every day. And I had made sure that my PA was given another BlackBerry,
right,
and he was forwarding those all the time. And when the information was coming back to you as a complainant, it was restoring people's confidence that we were acting on the suggestion, and because people know best. And we thought if we keep our eyes and ears open, that's the best way to know the ground realities, and then act promptly, which is what we did. And people did their part of the deal very, very well. Hats off to them.
Let's go through each of the 5 states, starting with West Bengal. There was a tremendous amount of tension and apprehension actually in West Bengal that this might be a very, very violent election, because the mood seems to be, the media seems to suggest that after 34 years, the incumbent CPIM-led government is about to go. And given the kind of, the cadre-based activity that you see there, there was a sense that there would be violence. What is it that you all did in these first 4 phases that we've already experienced that you managed to ensure that it was incident-free?
You're right in suggesting that different states have different problems. West Bengal was, our biggest problem was the law and order, because both sides, we were told, are armed. And every day we were reading in the papers, we had the statistics for the last 3 years, how many people have been killed in political violence. So on the basis of that, our prime concern was security, which is the reason why you will realize the bigger state of Tamil Nadu had a one-day poll, and a smaller state West Bengal, we had 6 phases of poll, because we wanted to finish our the election in the other 4 states before pumping in all the forces into West Bengal, and that too doing it in 6 phases, so that every polling station has an adequate number of armed police from the center, and that restored people's confidence in it. And we deploy these forces much in advance. This is what we call area domination. If the forces arrive 2 weeks, 3 weeks in advance, they are doing flag marches, so people know that this time there cannot be any trouble. So that gives them confidence and they come out to vote. The character of the next 2 phases is a little different. These the constituencies have more of a Maoist problem, which is more of a law and order problem of a different kind. At least the political violence, which was the main concern for the rest of West Bengal, has been taken care of. I would say the 3rd and 4th phases were the most critical, but we also plan in such a way that the first 1 or 2 phases were, it's like smooth sailing, so that we it increases our confidence. Well begun is half done.
Let's move to Tamil Nadu next, because I think that challenges in that state were of a totally different nature. Would I be right in saying that that is where the relationship between the incumbent government and the Election Commission was the most confrontational?
Unfortunately, that was the case. We fail to understand why, because the rules of the game are the same everywhere. The guidelines which we were following are exactly the same, the machinery is the same, but again and again we were confronted with these kind of accusations that we are being extra harsh, or we have imposed an emergency, which is absolutely unfair, because we are supposed, it is our mandate, it is our constitutional duty to conduct a good election, peaceful election, and do it strongly. We were just doing our job, and if in the process somebody gets hit, it's not our problem, and nor is it going to make us waver, because we have to do the job assigned to us by the Constitution. That was a bit unfair. But at the same time, I must say,
it became a bit personal also, isn't it? Because I believe there was a right to information application filed to check on your personal assets, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know whether it was done by a political party. Probably it was filed by a journalist, which is all right. But maybe because since we were enforcing the corruption-free election, they also must have tried to put us at the receiving end. But it was not of a unsettler for us. For 35 years in civil service, we have filed our property returns. When I joined in the Election Commission, then since we are not under the government, the rules failed to then stop applying. Then who do we file it to?
But you were willing to share it?
I'm willing to share it. In fact, immediately I called the chartered accountant who has been filing my returns for all these years, and I also discussed with my colleagues, and they are also very happy to share this information with the public, because if it is required.
So is it out now?
No. We have asked the people, our the chartered accountants, to dig out all this information and properly make it presentable. And very soon we will put it on the website, because that is the only thing we can. We don't have a boss to give it to. So we will just put it on the website. That is because we do believe in the institutional integrity of such institutions. Certainly should be open to public scrutiny. Most welcome.
Was Tamil Nadu, besides being confrontational, also the most difficult state, or the biggest offender when it came to black money? Because the seizures that you all did, some 50 crore rupees worth, I think 40 crores or even more came from Tamil Nadu, isn't it?
That's right, yes. As I mentioned, every state has some different flavor. Basic election may be the same. Like out of 73 crore seizures, 60 crores were from Tamil Nadu alone. And in West Bengal, which is undergoing poll now, is 8.35 crores. So that is the ratio. So it is true that the money power was in evidence substantially, in fact alarmingly, and which is where we were acting very tough. We are acting tough everywhere, but if there is money and it is caught, so if somebody gets offended, what can we do about it?
Today, as you speak, you say that Tamil Nadu elections, clearly money has played a big role, despite all the measures you all took to try and seize money, black money.
Frankly, we don't rule it out. But at the same time, for every crore that we seized, I'm sure that we must have prevented 50 to 100 crores from flowing. And at the same time, if that was the scale of money in operation, some money is still reaching the hands of the people, cannot be ruled out. But then we also have limitation. We can't have a policeman sitting in every home 24 hours a day. So when we try to enforce it strictly, that is when there were allegations that we have imposed emergency.